Gentlemen, the time has come once again to discuss things.
Ready? Yep. Okay. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Geeky Gentlemen. I am Sid Part2. Joining me today is the one and only Deadpoolzilla.
Hey everybody.
Hey Deadpoolzilla. You've come up with yet another character for us to discuss. Who are we discussing today?
He can be summed up in 3 words. It's clobbering time!
Yes, indeed he can. The one, the only, the thing. By Ben Grimm. Okay. So I'm going to start this out with this one particular joke that has always cracked me the hell up, and I don't think anything will ever make me like the Thing more than I like the Thing in this. So is this little comic strip, and this guy was complaining, man, I always write such vague notes to myself. Like, what the hell does this mean? Remember to pick up the Thing. God, that's so stupid. And then it just cuts to Ben Grimm, he's like, guess I'm walking. I don't even remember what webcomic that was, but it just always made me laugh. But anyway, yes, Ben Grimm, the Thing. For what it's worth, this is probably a lie, one of those infamous Stan Lee lies. But I always did like the notion that Stan Lee wanted to create a superhero that was not, supermodel attractive, and so he made the Thing. More likely, the actual version of that story is Stan Lee said that the 4 astronauts were going to get cosmic ray superpowers, and Jack Kirby decided that he didn't want to draw a super pretty person all the time, so he was going to make kind of a superhero that was a bit ugly. And so Jack Kirby made the Thing and explained that to Stan Lee, and then that became Stan Lee's story. That'd be my guess of how that worked out.
Yeah, you're probably batting in the right ballpark.
Yeah. No, but just that notion of the superhero character who's very in the tradition of, like, the Universal monsters, the like, classic gothic horror thing where people, like, look at him and scream. Man, I really like that. That's really, really clever, and it provides this unique edge to the Thing that a lot of superhero characters don't have.
Yeah, where it's also funny that, everyone says that, oh, the Thing's so strong, he's so powerful. Yeah, but he can't turn off his powers like the other 3 can.
Yeah, that's really good. I also like that we've done so much with the Thing as far as, like, what exactly his powers are. He's not just a rock man. Speaking of which, oh my god, Deadpoolzilla.
What?
Oh my god.
What?
Crag meets the Thing. No reason to be afraid of me. I'm just a rock man. Unless, of course, you're made of scissors. It's just a joke. Little rock, paper, scissors humor. Yeah, I got it. That wasn't that clever.
Yeah. 2-bit whack job, bozo.
Yep.
And that's I think the biggest thing I love about Ben Grimm is that this is a guy who just got like the bottom of the barrel, and he's not like super smart or super intelligent like Reed or attractive like Johnny. He's just a guy who wants to sit on the couch and eat a big bowl of nachos while watching a football game. Mm-hmm. He's just your basic blue collar guy.
That is really, really an enjoyable aspect to the character, no lie. I think I'm not a huge Marvel guy, and I'm definitely not a huge Fantastic Four guy, but I think the Thing does have kind of a universal appeal because he is so down to earth. which is weird because he goes on all these adventures and like Marvel certainly got a bunch of crazy wackiness, but you would agree with me that the Fantastic Four get into the craziest, wackiest of it all, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like to have this guy who's just like such a normal dude, just having to deal with all this like cosmic level what the fuck shit is really, really entertaining, in its own special way.
Yeah. This is a guy who got pissed off and started punching aliens because they knocked out the cable.
And I also like just how powerful they've made the Thing, in regards to the fact that he can't turn off his powers. So, like, you know, the Thing and the Hulk have a kind of a rivalry of who's really stronger, which any Hulk fan will say is obviously the Hulk, but the Thing, I think, has won every fight they've been in.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. Maybe I don't have a ton of facts behind that. I just remember like reading that somewhere at one point.
There's actually one really heartbreaking Hulk and Thing fight where after Johnny was killed, Thing kind of goes on like a rampage because he doesn't know how to deal with his anger, and Hulk steps in, and some of the Avengers there to like break up the fight, and Thing is just wailing on Hulk. And Hulk's like telling everyone, "Yeah, let him do it. Let him have his fun.
Get it out, bud."
Yeah, he's like wailing on the Hulk so hard he's like causing shockwaves in the area, and the Hulk's just kind of taking the punches.
Nice, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. There's some interesting stuff there with the Thing. Do you have a favorite adaptation of the Thing? Like, it doesn't have to be from a good source, but like cartoon show, movie.
I do have a soft spot, even though these movies, and I do like my favorite would have to be like from the Moonscope animated series of Fantastic Four, which I don't know if you've seen that.
I don't think so.
It's actually not that bad, but I do like the Michael Chiklis Thing.
He is the best part of that movie.
He is definitely the big star of that. Like, he just puts so much of Ben Grimm's energy in just how he emotes in that suit.
Mm-hmm. He does just hands down the best work in that film, which is crazy because it's got Chris Evans, and Chris Evans has proven himself to be such a damn good actor, particularly in superhero stuff. So it's kind of crazy how good Michael Chiklis is in that, or at least. You know, I don't think the writers of those movies really understood the Fantastic Four, but I think they got the Thing, if nothing else. I think he's the one who's the most in character in those films.
Yeah. I also like how it was originally going to be like Michael Chiklis was just going to do the voice of Ben when he became the Rock Monster, but he was like, nah, fuck that, I'll put on a costume.
Yeah, they were initially planning CG. That's cool. It's cool that they got it down and got it out of the got it down to practical effects, because none of the digital effects in those movies hold up, so I imagine the Thing would have just looked awful, and it would have made it even harder to go back to. It's kind of crazy. Do you have a favorite Thing story?
A few. Like, one that comes to mind is Fantastic Four number 51, This Man, This Monster, where the Thing is like really feeling, you know, I can't shut off my powers and I can't go out in public without, you know, being looked at like a monster. And at the same time, Reed's trapped in the negative zone, so he's really having this moral quandary of like, what do I do? And, you know, at the same time, he's trying to save Reed from the negative zone. Another one, and you might like this one, is a story called The Thing Freak Show. It's a miniseries that was written by Jeff Johns, and the artwork was done by Scott Collins.
I didn't even know Jeff Johns ever worked at Marvel.
Oh yeah, he had an Avengers run.
Oh wow, that must have been forever ago.
Yeah, it was like late 90s, early 2000s. He also did a Vision miniseries.
Wow.
But yeah, the story Freak Show is just how it explains Ben Grimm's rotten luck, and he's caught in a war between the Skrulls and the Kree over a baby Watcher. Yeah. It just kind of shows of how much like the Thing is such a fun character. Um, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go keep going.
No, like those two stories come to mind. Like also a lot of the Marvel 2-in-1s, like when Ben thinks he's got a cure for himself, so he takes Doctor Doom's time machine, goes back in time, and talks to his past self, and then fights his past self to make him take this antidote. Then goes back to the future thinking, "Hey, I'll be Ben Grimm again. I'll be regular old Ben Grimm. I'm still the Thing." And Reed tells him, "No, you just created an alternate timeline. That's all you did."
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something just incredibly interesting about that whole monster aspect. Like, they obviously made the 70s Incredible Hulk show, and the Thing kind of fits into that whole thing. If they had done other superhero characters and stuff, the Thing would have been a perfect character to cameo in that, you know?
Yeah.
For an episode. Oh, that would have been so good. Can you imagine?
It's so awesome.
It would have fit so well with that particular version of Banner and everything. No, but like the Thing just kind of having to always deal with being, you know, this monster all the time is really interesting. You get a very Frankenstein vibe from it all, which is really cool. I know DC has a Frankenstein. Does Marvel have a Frankenstein monster running around? I think
They do.
Okay, have they
they do.
done anything with Thing and Frankenstein then? Or that you know
I want to
of, or
say
no?
yeah. I want to say yes.
If they haven't, they really should, you know?
Yeah, I know Hulk and Frankenstein have met.
Okay. Yeah, they really should do. Like, there's just a lot of that classic, you know, Victorian Gothic kind of a monster thing that goes on with the Thing that is just really, really interesting to read. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think that kind of thing gets old, or can you kind of always read it?
I think you can always read it because, you know, it's not something that can just go away, you know. No matter how many times Ben says he's come to peace with being a rock man, it's really hard to say that and then look at yourself in the yourself in the mirror and go, "Oh yeah, that."
Yep. It's really, really interesting to see the Thing have to just deal with that on a daily basis, and I don't know. I feel like that's kind of interesting and has a level of commentary to it, where you're never over it, you never accept it. You just kind of learn to deal with it.
It's like living with diabetes in a way.
I guess you'd put it that way. I was going to go more for like a more apparent physical manifestation, like burns or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, it really does. It does have a very particular like look to it, and interesting metaphorical connection. Especially because he's always looking for a cure, and he has kind of this thing where he's with the people that if there was ever going to be a cure for him, he's in the right group to find it. But given the way comics are told, it's never going to happen like long term, and I think that's interesting.
Yeah, and he usually like sometimes gets like the ability to like revert back to his human form, but it doesn't. That always doesn't last long.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that just creates a cool dynamic on the page, and it's, I don't know, I think there's something positive and tragic to read into about that. That's kind of cool. Like it's cool that like he's willing to admit that it's a really hard life, but he still doesn't. He still like insists that he goes out and does the right thing and helps people and stuff. I think that just creates a really cool dynamic. Like, you know, I think Reed Richards is kind of interesting. I think Johnny Storm is fun. Invisible Woman exists. But like the Thing is the most interesting member of the Fantastic Four. If not for the fact that Silver Surfer and Galactus exist because of the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom, the Thing would be the most interesting thing about the entire like canon of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Everyone's all like, yeah, the other members of the team are like, science and adventure! And the Thing's like, yeah, this is nice. He's just like, he's usually the guy that goes, what in the actual fuck?
Yep.
Is like, is that a tentacle monster? Why are we doing this? I want to go home.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like, I don't know if it's ever happened in the comics, but I could totally see the scene where, like, they're dealing with fucking Galactus or something, and the Thing's just pissed that he's missing a football game because of it.
That's happened a few times. Like I said, there was one in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the cartoon. He actually, he comes in only because they were fighting dinosaurs he was fighting dinosaurs with Wolverine and Spider-Man, and he goes, the only reason I'm here is because these damn dinosaurs knocked out the cable.
These damn dinosaurs knocked out the cable.
That's just, he's just kind of like, I want to go home and eat nachos and watch the football game. Why do I gotta do this?
It's like Reed's like the equivalent of his nagging wife that won't let him just do anything. He's always like, go wash the dishes, but it's of course it's comic books, so it's always, 10 turned up to a factor of 10, so it's like, go save the universe. But the Patriots though.
he's actually I think, if I remember right, he's a Giants fan.
No, I was saying like he's dealing with it again or whatever.
Doesn't matter. Oh yeah, okay. No, okay.
No, just like that's really funny though that like he does have a team.
Yeah.
Has there been stuff with the Thing doing sports, like playing football or something, trying to just?
He actually, like, how he got into college and met Reed was because he got into college via a he was a linebacker, I believe. I know he played football. I think he wasn't a quarterback. He was just really good at as a linebacker, defensive, and that's how he got into college via football. And by chance, he was Reed Richards' roommate, and the two just became buds.
I can see it. It doesn't really explain why he gets to go on the space station and get superpowers, but whatever.
It was the 60s, whatever.
Yeah, it was the 60s. Anyone could go on a space station and get superpowers. Like, it was just happening left and right. Anytime we talk about shit like that, I just remember this episode of Birdman where he's talking about how Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. Sorry, I don't want to get you confused with the great Birdman cartoon show. There's the episode of Birdman where, like, they're all talking about, how Harvey's the only character that gets his powers from a renewable energy source and everyone else is, like, toxic waste and stuff. And he's like, man, all these other guys are really harmful to the environment. It just talks about all the strangeness of characters that get superpowers and points out the fun of that.
Yeah.
No, I could see the Thing being the guy who, like, goes around at the superhero team up stuff. It's like, we should all hang out sometime, go play some football. And that'd just be super enjoyable to read.
Well, he does, like, his other pastime is poker, and he usually gets, whenever he's out teaming up with superheroes, he's either going out for a beer or poker with them.
That's funny. I love that. That's so perfect. Would you agree that that almost makes the Thing more of a DC character than a Marvel character at that point?
Yeah. I mean, hell, during Civil War, he said, I'm out, and because he was like, I don't want to hit my friends.
Yeah. I don't know, there's something about him that is, like, so wholesome, and that's often, obviously this isn't universal. There's always exceptions on both sides, but, like, DC just tends to be more, like, friendly and family-like with character interactions than I feel Marvel ever was. Like, Marvel heroes seem to have created the trope of the superheroes fight each other when they first meet.
Yeah.
And the Thing, I don't know, he seems very out of place sometimes in the Marvel universe.
Yeah. I actually like that usually, even more than Sue, he's the voice of reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's usually, like, the one to talk to Reed and go... Like, he's actually, like, whenever Reed has a problem in the marital department, Reed goes to Ben.
Now is Ben married still in the comics, or what's going on with that?
He's still single. I mean, the last girlfriend he had, Alicia, the blind woman, actually got stolen by Johnny. But then she turned out to be a Skrull, and the real Alicia was missing. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. That's the most comic book answer ever. Then she turned out to be a Skrull, and it's a whole thing. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the Thing being in a relationship. I don't know if he needs one or if he should be in one or what's up with that.
I kind of like that he was in a relationship because I feel like the dude needed love. He was a giant 6 foot, 7 foot rock man. He needed some love.
Yeah, fair enough.
Though honestly, I always had in my head that if anyone, maybe he should just date She-Hulk.
I could see it. That'd be a little weird. That'd make the Hulk fights have kind of another level to them, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you're banging my cousin. What the fuck, Ben?
I don't know. The superhero matchmaking game, that's what the show's become. Alright, what else can we talk about? Design stuff? The Thing doesn't get a ton of redesigns over the years. He's a rock man, he wears shorts.
Yeah. Although there was that one time during the 90s where he turned into an even more where he looked like a rock Godzilla for some reason.
What, really? I don't remember this.
Oh, it was it looked awful. And then he had like another woman who became She-Thing.
That just sounds unappealing.
Yeah, it was. It was an era where it was not appealing in the least.
I guess this is a weird one. How orange should the rocks be?
Okay, that is a weird one.
Like, do you like super saturated? Like, when we talk colors, do you like super saturated? Do you like more of a natural orange, like the kind that you'd actually see with the rocks, or
I
would you
kind of
like
like
to be really like stand-outy?
I wouldn't say stand out. More like kind of like the dusty orange he's usually portrayed.
I don't know. Something about me, I like the more realistic shading whenever I see it. Something about that just kind of looks cool, and it makes it so it's not just a blob of orange on the page.
Well, like you can see the cracks. I like that when it's the Thing. Like you can see like the little crevices in between the little chunks of rock in him.
Yeah. So there's not a ton of design stuff with the Thing. Shit, what are we going to talk about? You need to take us somewhere.
I guess, like, for other things, I've always dug how Ben, like I was saying earlier, is the blue-collar guy. He's the most blue-collar superhero ever. Like, you could argue it with Hawkeye and, I mean, I'm talking Marvel specifically. DC's got a few blue-collar heroes, but Marvel, there's really just Hawkeye, and Hawkeye and Thing. That's really who come to mind in terms of, well, Spider-Man. Yeah, there's three.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I like about the Thing is that he's really he's just a dude. He's not smart. He's not, he wasn't even popular in school. He was, he was just a guy who just has rotten luck. And I feel like we can all agree, we can all kind of sympathize with this where I'm not a rock man, but I know what it feels like to get shit on by the girl you dig.
Wait, you're not a rock man?
I am not. That is a shock.
Neither am I.
I get rock hard, but
okay. Get out. Oh God. Go to the corner.
I will not. I will stand by that.
That's the hill you're dying on?
This is my bed that I shit in, and I'm gonna lie in it.
Okay, then. I don't know. Yeah, the blue collar stuff's really cool with him. Let's talk about his relationship with Doom then, in relation to the Fantastic Four. because like the for like the family, what would you say is the particular interaction between Thing and Doom?
Well, Doom has always looked at Ben like, you're just the idiot, you're the pilot, you're the big brute. And Ben just goes, I just want to smash your face in, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's just not like, he doesn't think of like some overcomplicated plan to defeat Doom like Reed does, or want to talk to him like Sue. He's just like, I just want to walk up to him and punch him in the face. That seems to work.
Yeah, that is a really enjoyable aspect to him. He is, and it kind of roots from that down to earth thing. It's like, nah, listen, I ain't got a plan. I'ma hit him. I'ma hit him really hard.
If he gets up, I'll hit him again.
Yeah, that creates a really interesting thing, and I think it's cool that like it tends to be the method that works the best, and it's also the comes from the place of Doom looking down at the Thing, right? Like even in the '04 movie, Doom's plan is to eliminate the Thing by getting him off the team, or like getting rid of his powers. So he doesn't want to have to fight him. And so when the Thing comes back and just, fucking starts wailing on him, it's really cool. So yeah, it's kind of neat that, he doesn't get enough respect from Doom, and he often ends up being the thing that kind of causes the most problems.
Yeah. It's usually like, because I think, again, it ties in that kind of why we sympathize, a lot of us sympathize with Ben, is because we've always had that one person, whether it be in our family or we know that guy at school or work who looks down on us because where we came from, or we're not smart like they are or rich like they are. And he just gives us that that little outlet of, what if we could just smash that guy's face in?
Mm-hmm. It's a really appealing kind of aspect for a character. Alright, what else?
Any favorite fights with Ben Grimm?
I haven't read a ton, because, again, I'm not a huge Marvel guy. I just kind of know, like, a lot about, without a lot of specifics, But I do remember reading this really cool The Thing and Hulk team-up book, where they're, like, the whole time they're arguing about a fight that they had in the last issue, and who was going to win because the fight got interrupted. So that, like, the whole issue, they're just arguing about this fight as they take down the supervillain organization thing. And then at the end, they're sitting there because they're both exhausted, and they look at each other and it's like, you look too weak to fight right now. I'm just going to do you a favor and not even start this. And the Thing's like, looks over and is like, oh yeah, that's the charity you're giving me. More like, that's your little excuse for not wanting to fight me right now, is because you're so exhausted. It's just like that little bickering is really funny. Because the Hulk's like got kind of that toxic masculinity thing of, if he can't win in a fight, what the fuck's the point of him? So he's got kind of like this little begrudging rivalry with the Thing that I really like.
Yeah.
How about you?
I would say some of my favorite Thing fights are, actually, because of just how short it is from X-Men versus Fantastic Four, where Wolverine's about to fight Ben, and he's like, I'm gonna cut some boulders out of you, bub. And he's like, oh really? Sure. And he bops him on top of the head and knocks him out.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like Wolverine's built up like this badass throughout this entire comic, and then Thing comes along and just bops him on the top of the head and knocks him out.
Mm-hmm.
A few others is like, there's one in Avengers vs. X-Men where he takes on Namor underwater, where like Namor, his powers can rival the Hulk, and he actually like uses his brain to beat him. Like he uses the bones of this dead sea serpent to pin him underwater. And Thing walks out going like, if I see him again, I swear to God, I'm going to turn his intestines into casserole.
Damn. That's pretty cool. Is there anyone who you think should just always be able to beat the Thing, or just the Thing doesn't have any real chance against? Since he is kind of like the tough guy of the Marvel Universe.
I would say, I don't know if they've fought before, because, again, there's tons of comics, but I want to see Thing and Juggernaut throw down.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I could see that.
That's probably happened somewhere. I just haven't found it.
Or it'd be cool is if like Marvel did a Bruisers team book, like Hulk, Thing, Juggernaut, Rhino, all on the same team.
And Colossus.
Okay, yeah, I could see it.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty sweet. I could get into that.
yeah, I could go for that. Like they're all just they're fighting this cosmic being who like claims to be the strongest person and gathers all the people who are like the physically strongest of the on Earth.
That'd be cool as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down. All right, let's talk about recommendations. For all its flaws, I will recommend the 2004 and the 2007 Fantastic Four films. Still haven't seen Fan Four Stick.
Don't bother.
Yeah. I remember vaguely liking the 90s cartoon, though I don't imagine it holds up very well, so there's that. Did they ever do an Ultimate Fantastic Four book?
Yes, they did.
Okay, and probably worth at least checking out the first volume of that, I imagine. How bad could it possibly be?
It's not terrible.
Yeah. All right. How about you? What do you got for recommendations?
Fantastic Four number 51, This Man, This Monster. The Thing Freak Show by Scott Collins and Jeff Johns. I'm going to also recommend the 04 and 07 movies. They're bad, but they're like in a good way bad. Like how I enjoy Batman Forever. Mm-hmm. I would also say the Moonscope animated series from the 2000s. It actually holds up a lot better than the animated than the 90s animated series.
Okay, I didn't even know that was a thing. So
yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, those are just some recommendations right there.
Okay, cool. All right, everyone, thanks very much for watching. Until next time, I'm the Philosopher.
I am the Don Juan of Comic-Con.
And we are your Geeky Gentlemen. And we will be discussing things like The Thing.